Hey, what's good, you guys? I am here to shed some light, so I decided to do this specific review. So today what I'm going to review is The Surge 2. So The Surge 2 is an action role-playing video game developed by Deck 3 Interactive and published by Focus Home Interactive. So plot-wise, it's technically set in a dystopian future where humans have exhausted the world's resources, leading a strand of social service and environment disease, bringing mankind to the brink of extinction. It starts when you board a plane and literally your created character befriends a young girl named Athena Gutenberg. The utopian rocket collided with the plane, releasing its nanites payload, which severely damaged the craft, causing it to crash in the outskirts of Jericho City. Seemingly that you are the only survivor, the only thing you can do with your goal is to figure out what happened to Athena. Of course, this game is an RPG and it's actually played from a third-person perspective. The game also features a character creator, which allows the players to customize the appearance and gender of their avatar. You can utilize a variety of melee weapons to defeat enemies whose limbs can be targeted and removed individually. You can also dodge and parry attacks, which requires you to properly angulate your equipped weapons. Combat drones and consumables such as biosensors can be deployed. When you kill or disassemble your opponents, you can collect and equip the weapons, armor enhancements, or tech left by them. And sadly, all this is done by a station. In your little mini station, aka the bonfire, you can literally create blueprints with most of the armor enhancements and tech left by most of your enemies. You can also upgrade them as well, as plus you can also upgrade your actual character based on battery life, stamina, and health. And the game offers a terminate path which you can explore freely in Jericho City. But the problem with that is half the stuff that literally you need to do, you will not know what to do until you either A, look it up, or B, figure it out on your own. But it's really hard for you to travel around Jericho City because most of the stuff that you really need in the beginning of the game, you don't really have. You need to progress more into the story to do that, which of course I didn't know from jump. So at times I could literally get stuck in literally the most simplest parts, and it just drove me nuts. And literally, even though it's a short semi-open world, the least that they can do, they could give us some type of like direction of where we need to be and where we need to go and things like that. They do give us quest logs so we can somewhat get back on track, but that really doesn't help. Well, at least in my experience. But for me, what shed light was you will meet different non-playable characters and have to make different choices which will affect the game's world and story. And for me, in my case, I kind of like how some of the non-playable characters were literally creative. It was literally intriguing to me to find in the Resident Evil back alley and find Penny, who was a merchant, who asked me to do a quest for him. I do the quest for him and literally she betrays me. It made me feel like I can't really trust every single NPC that was in the game, which is awesome. And finally, the last but not least, the graphics was A1. It was alright, it was fine. I had no problem with the graphics, and if you have problem with the graphics, you can switch it up in the options menu. But other than that, I really had no problems with it. It was good. And the soundtrack was fairly forgettable, but I could say it was okay. It was pretty fine. Oh yeah, I literally forgot too. You can also leave graffiti messages in the game world so other players can see it. Literally, the community is also good on this one because most of the community literally warn you about certain events that literally will happen later in the game, which in my cases and in some cases literally helped me out a lot and literally made me progress through the game a little bit in some cases. So kudos to the community on this one. So I think I covered mostly everything, so I'm gonna hop on to the overview. So on the positive side of things, the story was lit. I like the customization in the game. The overall gameplay was really fine, even though it's so much similar to Dark Souls. I like that the game is semi-open world. Most of the NPCs is just lit. I love it. Graphically, the game is alright, it's fine. And even though the soundtrack is fairly forgettable, it's good, it's fine. And the community is lit on this one. They are really helpful. And I didn't really explain this a lot, but I really like the environments in the game because each environment was different. It has their unique oomph to it. So I really loved it. And on the negative side of things, the alternative paths, it can sometimes confuse the shit out of you. And you will get lost at some point. So the game came out in September 24th, 2019 worldwide. And it should be on most platforms, so PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. And I would usually talk about the local stores in this one, but since there is a pandemic going on, I can't really talk about the local stores right now. But digitally on Steam, it's about $49.99, and in the Xbox Marketplace, it's about $59.99. But in PlayStation stores, you can save up an extra 10% off if you have PS4 Plus. So that $59.99 will become $29.99. And if you shop at any other market digitally, it could be about $30 at most, probably 40 depending on where you look, but for the most part it's mostly 30. So how do I feel about this game? In a retrospect, I feel this game is okay. It's alright, it's fine. It's not really bad, but you do got to keep in mind that you will get stuck, and the game is kind of like Dark Souls, like most of the Dark Souls genre. But this is my favorite one so far, besides Sekiro Shadow Die Twice. So I highly recommend you guys buy this game. This game is definitely fun and challenging at the same time, and it's definitely worth the buy. Well, other than that, if you like this review, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. I do reviews, videos, PvP matches, streams, and more. And if you haven't yet, please don't forget to follow me on my Facebook page and my Twitch account because I stream on those platforms as well. Everything should be in the description box below, and I will catch you guys on the next review.